Hey everyone, so this discussion we'll be talking about mental health and illnesses in regards to how immigration and its mental health abilities or influences into a childhood and adolescence and teenagers and even into adulthood. So when someone is immigrating from one country into another, like say the United States, they are leaving everything they know and coming to a completely different country, most of the time with not much money or not many possessions. So they could definitely be feeling stressed out and sad, and they could even become depressed, and they could also be feeling, they could also be fearful, and they could be mad that they had to leave, but they could also be sad, and they could just have so many emotions running through their head, and so then it overwhelms them, and then they become just like caught up in everything, and they don't know what to do. So, and they don't know where to go, and they don't know where to live, and they have to like basically build themselves a new home, especially if it depends, and it's a major difference if they're traveling alone or with their family or children or partner. So it just depends really how much prepared they are before they make the move, or how determined they are also to make everything work out, and to, because most immigrants want a better life for themselves. That's why they come to the United States or to another country, because they want a different life for themselves, and most of the time it's to get away from a really bad situation. So I'm sorry, like someone else said, I don't have the names right in front of me, but like someone else said, the United States is like a melting pot because everyone comes here, and they want to start a new life, they want to start fresh, and they want to raise their family here. So, but immigration could have major influences on your mental health, because you could feel sad, fearful, depressed, anxious, mad even. Like I just said, all those emotions could overwhelm you. So, just immigrants could be, their culture is totally different from back home to the United States. They are trying to continue their culture, but trying to adapt to the United States culture at the same time. And it might be too much to ask of them, but on the other hand, they shouldn't have to give up what they know, what they've lived their whole life. So they can adapt and try to integrate into the United States at the same time. And if they know people here in the United States, that makes it easier. But on the other hand, if they don't know anybody and if they don't know where to live, then that could be worsen their mental health. So with if they're traveling with children, the parents could want the parents could hide their feelings and hide their emotions from their children, so their children won't feel like what they're feeling. And so there are coping strategies, like they could talk to somebody, or they could be overwhelmed, and they could just find something that they feel like relieves that anxiety and relieves the everything that's going on in their head. So they could talk to somebody. That would be a healthy option. Or they could go the totally opposite way and find something that they feel like they can control, and one of those things could be food. So sometimes they feel like if they eat so much food, that's how they control their body. So these lead to eating disorders, and because most of the time when people get an eating disorder, it's because that they can control that, because they can control how much food they consume, and then what they do with that food afterwards, whether it be purging or binging, or not eating at all. So it's all in the coping strategies that they choose to go with. So I don't know. There's eating disorders are bad, like no matter what, and it takes a hard time to get over them. So coping just coping strategies really should be more. They should be something healthier, but people can't control that, just like they can't control their emotions and their anxiety and their fear and what they're feeling from the move of the new cultures, because what's expected of them. They want to start a new life, and they want to have a better life for their children and for their family. And they even want to better themselves, maybe by getting an education or by getting a career. So, which is something they can't get at home. So, through all these things that they want to do, they might need a coping strategy that involves an eating disorder, and it just shouldn't it shouldn't happen like that. So I really hope that they can find a different way. Immigrants can find a different way if they need to cope besides an eating disorder.